Good morning, everybody from Charlotte. James Brierton here. Yes, a little bit in my pajamas because, like so many of you, waking up this morning without power for us, a second day in a row. Duke Energy, one of the largest power companies supplying electricity to the Carolinas, is reporting this morning that over 500,000 of their customers are without power. Where I am here in Charlotte in Mecklenburg County, that number is 100,000 plus customers in this one county alone. There are certainly other power companies out there, but we're just kind of using here Duke at the start of this live stream to kind of paint a picture for you of what the situation is like across so much of the Carolinas this morning. Taking a look here at their website, you can see the latest number now, 534,000 customers without power. And that's because of the frigid temperatures. So while so many of the outages yesterday were due to the 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, Duke, for the most part, got a lot of that power restored yesterday in those very cold temperatures. But when temperatures this morning dropped down to record-breaking or near record-breaking lows, it put a strain on the system. There were infrastructure issues. There were high demand caused by electric heating and the such. And so for the second straight morning in a row here in Charlotte, I woke up without power. It happened to just turn back on minutes ago. I thought I was going to have to do this stream on my phone. As you can see, I'm not using a microphone. I'm not using lights. I don't know how long the power is going to come back on for, and that's why I wanted to hop on just briefly and give you all an update. Duke Energy says that they're going to be instituting rolling blackouts. So if you are not one of the 500,000 customers without power, you're one of the Duke Energy customers with power, you may actually have your power turned off intentionally and temporarily for a period of about 15 to 30 minutes. That's according to Duke, so that they can lessen the strain, lessen the load on the power grid. Because the power grid right now, although it has so many outages, is struggling in the cold temperatures and it's struggling with the high demand. Power companies, Duke and beyond, are asking people to conserve energy here in the Carolinas this morning. So that means setting your thermostat at a comfortable level, but maybe not excessive. That means not running large appliances like dishwashers or washing machines for now. That may also mean turning off Christmas lights. Yes, it's during the day, so you may have your Christmas lights off now, but that's something to keep in mind for later too, or if you have any daytime decorations, things that are just non-essential. They're asking people to power down. Amanda Song asking a question here, watching live with us on YouTube. If the power is out for a day or more, will the water pipe get damaged? I think the issue with the pipes is going to be if they have water in them and manage to get below a freezing temperature for too long. And I think this is what you're probably hinting at, right? Because you could have pipes that burst. The good news is you can drip those faucets if you're home without power being needed, and that would be a good idea to do. You can also open up the cabinets to try to let any excess heat from your home kind of seep into those pipes when possible. I'm home this morning. It's Christmas Eve. My child, I think, is about to interrupt this live stream. That's just the situation for so many of us this morning, right? As we are home a bit for the holidays. Let me go throw on Paw Patrol or something for a moment, and I will be right back. Hello again. I don't think Paw Patrol is considered an essential use of electricity, but I'm going to temporarily allow it while we could talk about these freezing temperatures. So much of the Carolinas, at least like where I am in here in Charlotte along the I-85 corridor, we won't get back above freezing until tomorrow. So that means if you do get portions where you have heat, it would be good to try to keep that heat contained to your house. That makes, I have a front door with a bad weather strip. So I put some towels and blankets down there this morning to try to keep the cold from seeping back on in. We were talking about those the pipes. It would be good to drip them as best you can. Just a little drip, keep the water moving through them. That will help insulate them. Meredith, watching from Charleston this morning, says they're at 20 degrees. We got down to about 10 here this morning in Charlotte, and 20 degrees, says Meredith, there in Charleston on this very chilly Christmas Eve. And like I said, it's not going to be until tomorrow that we get back above freezing. So this is just a brief update to let you guys know that we're continuing to monitor the situation, and that if you do have power, try to conserve it as best you can, and anticipate that you may have a rolling blackout. Duke Energy says those will last for about 15 to 30 minutes. Those crews are continuing to try to get power restored. It's a lot of work, and as frustrated as we may be that we don't have power this morning, I'll tell you, I've got no frustration with the folks out there who are climbing the poles and on the trucks, right? So the politics of keeping the power on is out of their control, and they are out there right now braving these very cold temperatures, trying to get our lights back on, and hats off to them. Here's a picture that Duke put out of power restoration that was happening overnight in the Raleigh area, and it just looks very, very cold and uncomfortable. So I know there's a lot of frustrations, and some of them may be valid, but hats off to the power company linemen and women who are out there right now trying to get utilities back on, and to the first responders who are continuing to work without power and heat in many places and are continuing to respond to our community needs. So we hope that you manage to stay warm, find a way to enjoy the fact that at least it's sunny. I know some of us had wished it was snowing on this Christmas weekend, and while that does sound fun, I think I'm happy to at least be dry and getting this little lick of sunny weather here as we continue to battle these very cold temperatures. So from now here in Charlotte with the family, trying to stay warm, enjoying the period of power and electric heat I have for however long it lasts. I'm James Brierton in Charlotte. We will continue to update you as best we can. If we lose power, live streaming is a little difficult, but you can find text updates from us on Facebook and on Twitter. And we'll also be putting out as best we can updates on our audio podcast feed. Because let's face it, sometimes it's just easier to listen to audio than try to stream video if you don't have a lot of power internet. So you can find those wherever it is that you listen to podcasts.